think
EG's turn to
I guess I think you have to really break down what it means to be a space creator in that sense. I think Sumail is definitely better at being aggressive and taking over a game.
Yeah.
I mean that's almost inherent because he plays the mid position, because he plays those heroes. And then in terms of like taking space, like Artur does play a great like Razor Venomancer, and he does have that tendency to push out really far, attract a lot of attention, and that's another reason why Venomancer works great on him. He just pushes out with those Plague Wards, and you're like, oh, we have to deal with this damn Venomancer, and you gank him, you press his R, everybody everybody takes a bunch of damage. Arteezy might die, but he's off on the other side of the map. And Sumail's farming.
Yeah, one thing that's always stood out to me from Arteezy is just the way that he always seems to know exactly where the enemies are, and he's always very good on like the split of the creep waves and everything. So those kind of heroes really shine well with him, like the AM and whatnot, like in terms of that idea of creating space. But I would agree with like the aggression and like the pucks and those kind of heroes and Storm, of course, for Sumail.
Well,
it's kind of hard to overwrite that.
Well done. Thank you for your effort. We have a draft. Game 1, EG versus Alliance. Let's get in.
Wowzers.
Yeah, that's the spirit, gang. Get hyped. So, some familiar faces here. Drow Ranger Wisp, first banned by Alliance. Bat Rider Ogre taken out by EG. And lo and behold, it's a first pick Warlock.
No surprise. Covers a lot of laning options. They can zone a lot of offlane heroes. It just gives everything they need. Great team fight.
Gotta imagine Alliance are sitting here going, like, back in my day, you know, we didn't have to ban this IO thing up against EG. We never had to worry about it first or second pick. We'd always just hope that, you know, we'd at least force them to have to ban it.
It's true.
New EG, though.
Got 2 Wisp players.
Yeah. What an upgrade.
Yeah. They got Rubik players now. Old EG never used to run Rubik.
Yeah.
Witch Doctor.
Lardar Witch Doctor.
But do they Alliance, they love synergy in all of their drafts, and you can see with the first 2 picks. Witch Doctor ulti, physical damage, Slardar ulti, increases physical damage done, so I like the 2 that they opened with. They'll probably do another more mix of physical damage, and obviously they're also on Dire, so gives them really fast, dead roach.
A couple things to digest here. Venomancer for Evil Geniuses. And this is actually the second Witch Doctor pick of the tournament. We saw Wings pick it up once earlier against NP, I believe, in that first pick, Witch Doctor Invoker. So a rarity, but no surprise from EG. We talked about the synergy with Warlock and Venomancer. Of a match made in heaven there.
Yep, important to keep in mind though, that Slardar too. That could be for Loda, of course. Something we've seen numerous times, even lately from him, but also very historically, a hero that he looks towards. Always been more of a playmaking offlaner, or rather, you know, carry. He basically plays the offlane rather, which could help out someone like Jonas too. Again, we haven't got to see too much interaction in this new iteration.
I really like Veno versus Slardar, just because if you have enough Plague Ward set up, it should be able to interrupt Blink, things like that.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if I'm sold on Slar as a carry, because I feel like it's more important for you to be able to get in and out of the fight repeatedly. It also limits your ability to get Armlet, because it's more scary to Armlet toggle when you get hit by something like Veno ulti with Poison Sting.
Yeah.
So,
and I think that if you look at this iteration of Alliance, the thing was that Loda could space create for someone like Bulldog, who definitely played a lot more of a farming offlaner position. Jonas Sampan is a very aggressive offlaner. That's why he was so good on Axe, for example. It's because he was an active fighting core. So I think in this case, Loda has to fall back on his roots and play more of a hard carry for Alliance. But then there you have this great thing about EG is that Alliance can't get a read on what exactly EG is going to be doing in this game because Venomancer can fulfill both the support as well as the safe lane.
Good core bans here from EG, Lifestealer and Juggernaut. Alliance banning out the Medusa we talked about. EG played a lot against NP in the online finals and Dota Pit. And there's that Beastmaster, a little bit of vision control.
Overall, a lot of Universe heroes still left in though. Kind of surprising at this point in the draft.
Clockwork, Darkseer,
well, I feel like with Slardar and Witch Doctor being the picks though, that EG is very worried about getting ran over. Like Veno, if you chain stun him and kill him, then that should be a one fight for Alliance because you won't have an ultimate and a Gale and a Veil. It's kind of the same for Warlock as well. Jump on him, blow him up, fight should be won. And Lifestealer would have facilitated that, as would have a Juggernaut in a mid-game scenario with like Blink Dagger and Omni Slash.
Yeah.
I think the really dangerous part though is Alliance, if they want to make an offlane Slardar work here, they have to start committing towards some sort of dual lane, because Venomancer as a safe lane carry is really hard to lane against. You add any extra support in there and Slardar's going to be very hard pressed, right? So in which case, if you start committing for a dual lane, then all of a sudden it turns out the Venomancer's support, right? Then you committed resources into a strategy that kind of flops over on its head.
Now Timbersaw third for Alliance. Are we thinking this is a Jonas Timber with the Lotus Slardar? Could it be Limp on the Timber? Is that what we're thinking?
I think it's a mid-limb Timbersaw, and they need to get him an early hood. And then he just needs to stand in front of pushes, I think.
Kind of look like goons, Charlie.
See it.
Yeah.
I mean they are goons, but to their credit, when they get in the game, they do become very serious. They are like pretty focused guys.
And of course, the Universe Clockwork, no big surprise there.
It's a really good pick this game. Very good at getting soul kills against Witch Doctor. Very good against Slardar as well. Once you initiate, catching Timber can be pretty huge as well. If you can keep him by himself, Battery Cell can interrupt his Timber chain. So yeah, I like the pick quite a bit.
And of course, it's Comfort Zone.
The old guard of Alliance.
Yep, Loda and EGM there on the right. The old guard, I like that.
So gap closers, stuns, definitely follow up for Slardar, possible Invoker pick maybe.
Yeah.
You can put some Sun Strikes on top of whatever combos they go for.
Do you think you can aggro Tri-Lane into a Venomancer lane?
I think it's incredibly difficult,
Yeah,
and I like
so
what
too.
EG has done here. They've banned out the two cores that are really good against Venomancer in the Lifestealer and the Juggernaut.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like whenever you're aggro tri-laning too, like that vision, that ward, like on the inside, on the other side of your trees from your tower is so important, and you just can't deny that up against something like a Veno. Just non-stop vision coming in there, difficult to perform wraparounds.
Right, and it's not just aggro try against the Veno, it's aggro try against the Veno Warlock.
Yeah.
That lane is incredibly strong, especially with Fatal Bonds.
It feels like aggro Tri-Lane would be so good for Alliance if it wasn't for the fact they're facing other, because then they would be able to ensure Timbersaw is able to have like at least uninterrupted 1v1, and then you have a Slardar that is finally able to get some farm for himself, get that fast blink dagger, as he would be matched up against the Clockwork. That would just seem like really nice, but I don't think you can.
I think what we'll most likely see out of EG since they picked up the Clockwork is like another strong sort of offlaner type, offlane 4-position hero for Zai. But I think they'll most likely do Warlock Venomancer as a dual lane.
Yeah.
They've done this like 2 or 3 times already.
Yeah. This be a likely Shadow Fiend pick for Sumail here, perhaps?
I don't
Alongside the Clockwork?
I don't think Shadow Fiend just yet. I think they'll want something with a little more right-click damage. Right now they're very magic-focused. They usually save Sumail's hero for last, and they'd like to see what matchup comes out for him later.
Oh no, they ran back to the support Veno.
Spin.
Okay. Yeah. Support Veno's great at farming, and especially because Alliance is kind of, at least with the Rubik pick, they've kind of already tried to set up as a Veno counter. Once you steal Plague Wards from Venomancer, you get the benefit of Plague Wards as well as Poison Sting. So it's like stealing 8 skill points with 1 steal. Can be great to counter everything that Veno wants to do, plus you get Spell Shield. So, and you also get counters against Rubik, against Clockwork. If he goes on one of your allies, you just throw him out of the cogs. So I really like the Rubik pick here, but now that it's a support Veno, it's looking less valuable.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think EG were probably waiting to see whether that would be core or not. But since they picked a Rubik, there's no Bounty Hunter or Riki. They know that Veno can just go into the jungle and get uncontested farm, like he did in the MP series. So they can pick something like a Sven now, as a right-click hero in the safe lane. So what's most likely going to happen is Veno is going to do, because they are on Radiant again, they're going to do that really quick Radiant Veno jungle. He's going to hit level 5 super quickly. He's going to move up top and take the safe lane, or take the off lane from Universe when Universe hits 6 or something. And then, or even before that, depending on how fast he jungles, then Universe is going to run around on Clockwork.
Yeah, and then to add on top of that, the fact that the Sven pickup is really nice to facilitate that, because Sven is one of the better cores to go up against aggro Tri-Lanes because he's so inherently tanky. He's got the backup of a Warlock, so even if Alliance did try and punish and go, okay, it's a support Venomancer, like we need to try and pressure these lanes as best as possible because we can't match that greed because we've already picked our 2 supports, then we have to go aggro Tri-Lane. But we've seen Sven before be able to deal with aggro Tri-Lanes to a decent amount of success, and EG just need to survive for 5 minutes really until the Venomancer is online. You get yourself a scaling mid, and I think EG have crafted themselves a very nice draft.
Yeah, a lot of great setup here. You know, Sunstrikes are a really key part of the Invoker. We even saw that in the last series, the cost of not getting those kills with Sunstrike. We've got a Clockwork now to help set that up, Sven stun, all sorts of synergies across the map. There you can see our crowd here, local in Montreal. Again, if you are holding a ticket to the Grand Finals, that could be you sitting there watching these players.
You guys see Slacks?
Yeah, right at the end there.
Oh,
He's solo casting to a couple of his fans.
I think this is the
On his
first
birthday.
Slark pick of the tournament.
It's a very common hero for Alliance, and it's actually quite good against Sven as well. You have to be a bit worried about Cleave if there's other heroes in the area, but as long as he doesn't get like Venom ulti, he doesn't have too much to fear actually this game.
All right, it will be the Jonas Slardar after all. What are you thinking, Pudge? We need a round of predictions here. How you calling it?
I like the Sven versus the minus armor. I think EG got the upper hand with those last 2 picks.
Okay. I'm going to go EG as well.
Yeah, I'm not really seeing a very easy path to victory here for that Slarder. Not really sure exactly where he's going to get all his levels. I think the Clockwork will recover well enough thanks to the Veno. Ganks in mid with the global potential of the Sunstrike. All just looks too good.
Evil geniuses.
Bold.
I'm also going to pick EG. I think the team fight coming out of the Warlock is going to be super strong here as well. It's going to be super hard for Alliance to take fights. Just they'll need BKBs to deal with the Veno, and then even when they do have BKBs, they have to deal with the Drow.
All right, we'll see if the unanimous panel is correct here. We're going to hand it over to our casters. We've got Mott and Grant for Game 1 of this series.
Thank you so much, guys. Welcome in. It is EG versus Alliance, game number 1 here. Of course, I'm Mott. With me is Grant. A huge series. First time these two teams are playing on LAN in some time. Obviously, there's a lot of questions about the rosters for these two squads. Do you think, of course, though, EG, the very talented roster, do you think they're going to perform well here?
I have a feeling. I think they are probably almost the favorites in the tournament besides Wings. Those two are probably up top. And man, they've looked good. People thought in MDL they would be like, oh, they're not going to perform. They're going to China, and they end up winning the entire tournament against like top Chinese talent, the European teams. They've just looked dominant.
That was the big question when Crit first came to the team. Could he lead this type of talent? Could he lead them to victory? I think that question was answered. Obviously, there's still a lot of work to be done here before the Boston Major, before obviously the bigger tournaments come through. But even just in their online matches, Dota Pit, we talked about elimination mode, they've looked very strong currently.
Yeah, they lost 1 game, I think, to NP and 1 game to Complexity.
Right.
I mean, they were just kind of fooling around almost, it looks like, and now they're going against Alliance, who's been a little shaky. They underperformed at the Boston Majors, the qualifiers, and I mean, they go back. EG versus Alliance, Armada versus PP, even in Melee. Then you have like 2014 with Mason, the EG versus Alliance. They just have a very good background.
What a roster that was. The Mason roster for Evil Geniuses. What a guy, what a player.
What a player.
But this is the new EG roster. Obviously, we talked about Alliance. They're a very, very individually talented squad themselves. They've added Limp, Jonas, a couple of really good players. EGM has come back. This is going to be interesting. Let's talk a little bit about the draft, though. Obviously, we saw the Venomancer, and that is something that RTZ has been playing all the time, but they did switch it up here. It looks like they're gonna have obviously the Sven picked up as well as the Invoker coming out for EG.
Yep, I think the biggest thing is what I believe is what Charlie said. It's just an open path. There's no Riki, no bounty hunter to follow around Zai. Now you can just jungle, get level 6 by like 4 minutes in if no one can test him.
Look at all
how
these.
quick it is, man.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. The Plague Vorts come out. He's going to be able to kill that Satyr Tormentor rather quickly. Not only that, but I mean, just this camp is gone, essentially. This is
he has
speedy.
the other camp, and he'll have that next camp in 10 more seconds again.
And he is an Iron Talon. Dear God. All right.
It's just too quick. And then Sumail on Invoker. We forget, he's probably been the best player in the world, I think, since MPL.
Yes.
He is not lost a lane. He is not dominant.
There were 2 games for elimination mode that I had the pleasure of watching and casting, and he crushed it. I mean, he was Shadow Fiend, that hero's not considered one of the best. Yeah, absolutely. And then he did Jug Mid, where I don't think missed a CS. He played absolutely phenomenally. He had 1 or 2 mistakes in that game, which is it. I mean, like, that was it. I mean, he dominated those 2 games. So, Sumail, like you said, definitely up there in terms of conversation for best mid player in the world. But he's going up against Limp. He does have, of course, the Timber Saw. So this is going to be an interesting matchup. You do have the Fort Spirits to work against that reactive armor. We'll see how well he does. He's currently 7 last hits to 5. Very good start for Sumail in this mid lane.
Yeah, he is, and all he has to do is harass Fort Spirits. Look at, he can get a solo kill if he hits a 6 Sunstrike. That's all you really need.
Yeah.
And I doubt we'll see early Limp playing super aggressive. We'd have a Quelling Blade as well brought out so we can actually deal with it. And I think the biggest thing is Sven complete free farm in the safe lane wall universe being a little bit annoying in the off lane.
We'll see if the Alliance decide pressure that ancient stack and get into, of course, stopping the farm of the Sven as quickly as possible. But for now, it's just early laning phase, pretty standard stuff for the most part. We do see the Slaughter deny himself, go back home, take a quick trip back. The top lane for Alliance, they will have, of course, the Slark farming up universe. It might be tough getting him some levels here, and that's the biggest thing. Pudge was talking, of course, before the game. Need to get level 6 as quickly as possible on Clockwork, otherwise he's very underwhelming.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is once Veno gets his levels and whatever in the jungle, he's just going to go with top lane.
This might be your first blood attempt. Telekinesis, there's the bounce. There's going to be the bounce as well. It's an easy kill. They get the bounce back coming in from EGM. Nicely done. The cast goes through. Loda will draw first blood.
And that's just a perfect rotation, and I mean, your clock where you're not gonna be able to do anything. You want to cast Poison, especially with that long-range coconut bouncing back the second time.
That's
unlucky,
unfortunate. Yeah. Universe is going to TP back up. He is, of course, still level 2 now. Last hit-wise, he's sitting only one last hit. 3, of course, denies going his way, but the Slark on the other side should be doing pretty well. Another telekinesis go. There's the pounce up again. The Dark Pact will be there. Cast is ready. It should be Maldic. Good cog push back. Does he have the mana for it? EGM coming with a couple of right clicks. Universe might be able to make it, but no. The Fairy Fire. 2 more auto attacks. The Maldic will do the job. EGM is able to bring him down.
Just like that. Universe, 2 quick deaths. I think the biggest thing, though, it's creating space for Sumail as well as the Sven. Like, he's dying a lot, but you're not getting that much from it. You're getting low to free farm, but Sven's get a free farm and get those stacks eventually, but still, two huge kills for Loda. He needs to get those experience to gold.
How does Universe come back in terms of experience? I mean, right now his net worth is 500. He's lower than the Sports. It's very early on in the game, obviously, but...
I think once you get your first rotation from the Veno, he's going to create some space for you, and then he's just going to TP around to the open lane, try to get a 6, and he's dependent on Zai, who's actually top now. Look at.
Well, he's going to use his Gale. There's going to be a telekinesis followed up by the Maldic Pounce. Dark Pact should be coming in. The cast comes through. Zai gets at least one more Plague Ward down to the body block from Hanskin there. The cog push back not in time, and he can't quite get around either. So Zai will fall.
Are they just underestimating 2 stuns and a pounce?
Yeah,
just running into him.
They just ran right through the lane, which was an odd path to take.
That's a huge kill, because that was a level 5 Veno, so they get tons of experience and gold from it.
How much? I'm wondering what the Slark is. He's got a couple of assists. I think he got maybe 1 or 2 of those kills as well, so Loda's doing very well. 2 kills, 1 assist. He's up to almost 900 gold right now. Should be farming pretty well on top of all that.
Yep, he is. He's still quite a bit behind the Sven. Sven has, I think, missed 1 creep out of this, and that's the one thing. At least Universe, he fed away 2 kills, but he's still disrupting the farm reasonably well. But Alliance definitely up 3-0. That's nice. They probably should stop under. Maybe they think they're rotating, but they just keep showing up top like, yep, hey.
We'll take these kills. Thank you very much. Sumail backing up as Jonas is in the jungle nearby. The Forge Spirit will scout him out. Not able to get the last hit. Good effort. Sumail has a double damage rune, mind you, so he needs to be a little careful. But like you mentioned, Sven down in the bottom lane with plenty of farm, 36 last hits. Up top, there will be another rotation. This time it's 3 heroes. They even rotate the Warlock up. Universe nearby. The Gale not going to connect. Loda's able to get out in time. Yep. He got it on the catapult.
Yeah, he went for it. I mean, you're a little bit down. I mean, if you hit that Gale, you get a cog. Maybe you stop his pounce, and then it's a free kill that way.
Yeah. All right, well, so far, I mean, yes, you are shutting down Universe, but he's getting help top now. Experience won't come easy for that off-lane Clockwork. And they leave Sven alone, which does, you see the rotation already from the Rubik. He already rotated down bottom. They couldn't find anything. The Sven was able to back away after pushing the wave underneath the tower.
I think the biggest thing, no stacks at the Ancients yet for the Sven. He's getting a Helmet of Dominator so he can do it for himself. Once he does get it, he's just going to do stuff himself. He's like, oh, you guys can help top lane. He's struggling a little bit. And middle lane, a possible gank.
Yeah, Sumail. There's some vision nearby. Of course, the entrance to the jungle might have been spotted. Sumail's still playing pretty far to the left side of this tower, making sure he doesn't get ganked. They will see Hanskin. Of course, the tower hits him, and that's going to be that. Sumail's just going to sit behind his tower. They'd have to dive to find the kill. And this gives a lot more room for everybody else in the map. Sure, Sumail has to back up into that tower, but the rest of them are getting good farm, and even Universe now pushing up a bit more bravely.
Man, that's the thing with Jungle Veno. You see 3 kills go top, and they still lose the tower before 6 minutes. It's crazy. Crit.
Chakram not going to connect from Limp. He had a guess. Of course, there was no vision on that high ground. He thought he was going to go towards the Ancient Stack. Instead, he goes towards the Secret Shop. They can't get the cask off either. It was very close. Good attempt from Alliance. Meanwhile, Loda now actually alone top, so starting to miss out on some CS. Not the worst thing in the world considering he already has 31. He's playing very carefully, understandably so.
Yeah, he just has to be extremely careful. He's not 6 yet. He's like 1 or 2 creeps. He's like, okay, I'll just sit back. I don't need the CS, but once I get that, I shouldn't die. I'll just put that on a wolf.
Well, he's even going to go in on his side. They actually pop off the cast, of course. They get off the pounce, and Loda will find the kill. There's the Poison Nova, but Loda's able to heal up. He's got, of course, his ultimate healing and back up the pass, and of course, the Buddha Restoration, so huge for that kill. Again, it's another death in that top lane. All 4 of them had come up there.
They're just throwing bodies at the top. They take the tower. They're like, we'll just keep going.
Yeah.
Whatever.
They clearly don't mind.
They're making space. I mean, Arteezy, Sumail, obviously, the carries, the playmakers, and I mean, they haven't been disturbed really at all. Timbersaws doing a good job middle. Bottom.
Jonas, Sunstrike's going to come out as well, and they will find that kill almost instantly. Arteezy going to back up. Here comes Lent rotating in. Chakram is there. Hanskin maybe looking for a telekinesis. Can't find anything. They'll back up. Hanskin was very patient with that, and just like that, his Slaughter just dies in front of him.
Yeah, exactly. That just shows Fatal Bonds, who they wanted to commit onto Arteezy, but they both got Fatal Bonds. They're like, well, we can't go after him now. We have to scoot back, and I think that's the biggest thing of Warlock's Resurgence. People used to think, oh, he just has 1 good cooldown, his ulti, and now I mean, Fatal Bonds is like one of the best skills in the game, especially with a Venomancer.
And it's not just that. I think Shadow Word too. I mean, even upheaval, like all of his abilities, it just makes him
Insanely good.
First of all,
realize.
First day, I don't think there was not a game where he wasn't picked. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
The first game he got picked. I think every game. It was. I'm pretty sure I saw every game. So that's kind of ridiculous. I think there was one game earlier today where he wasn't picked in the Complexity series, I believe. But still, this is a very popular hero, and you're seeing why.
Well, Sven just farming some stacks in jungle. He's happy. They're like, oh, you can take over bottom now. Veno can just push it himself while he's in the jungle. Everyone gets gold experience. Still 1-4 in favor of Alliance.
Here come these ancient stacks, which Arteezy already has 74 last hits. It's going to propel him even further, as you can see the 3-stack coming out.
And because people are like, well, it's 4-1, Alliance is winning, right? And you look at the golden experience graph, they're both 2,000 in favor of EG. Like, early kills don't really mean that much when you have a crazy jungler like Veno who's almost solo lane.
Clockwork is up to 16 last hits right now as well. I'm wondering the experience, what is it looking like for the Clockwork?
He's getting there.
He's sitting level 5, so I mean, that's to be expected for the rough start that he had. I do think Alliance did a very good job of shutting him down, but EG don't seem to mind. They're pushing him to Tier 1 tower. Another Tier 1 about to fall. There is a glyph that's going to go. The Plague Wards are up. Hanskid's walking up looking for a potential lift. Can't find it. Arteezy is able to get out in time. More Plague Wards going down. Jonas is able to TP in. They pop the Fatal Bonds. That'll be on to 2 of those heroes, including the Slaughter. There's the Gale that's going to go. They really want this tower. The Cleave's bringing down the Creep Wave. There's the Flare. Hanskid is so low, 100 HP right now. Sunstrike. He's going to go for Jonas, and it almost brings him down. Both of them are so low, and they will have to maybe give up the Tier 1 tower, the advantage. Now the COG push back. They don't want one coming and denying this or starting a fight. They almost get 2 quick kills there with the help of Sumail, but they get the Tier 1 tower, and that's it.
And he's just farming. He has his Midas, 9-minute Midas. We've been seeing 14, 15-minute Midas. Feel like that's pretty good. In under 10 minutes, the space universe created with those 2 deaths is actually insane.
Yeah. Sumail has gotten a lot of work done here in this mid lane. Both of the cores, or at least the 2 cores in the mid, and of course safe lane for EG, have done an excellent job getting farm. Lotus no slouch either, though. 4.2k. He's got an Iron Talon, a Kilo Treads. He's got his beginning items. We'll see if he moves into that Shadow Blade next, or potentially another item.
That's what his thing. 2 kills, 2 assists. So even being down low CS, he is right up there, top 3. He's almost in that second place. He just has the Iron Talon jungle. He's right up there with Sven. Obviously can't clear stacks quite as quick, but yeah, there we go. There's the Ancient.
Do you think Alliance have to put more pressure on these Ancient stacks, or can they maybe just hang on with Loda and Limp?
And it could bounce. It will.
The cast, but there's no follow-up. It's just the 2 supports here. They can't do enough damage on their own. They would need another target or another hero to come in to help out.
They were trying to kill the Centaur, like steal this at least.
Give me that gold.
Couldn't quite, and well, they did get the sentry down, at least blocking the Ancient camp. So.
Yeah, but I mean, they should know, right? They should know that's blocked up for EG. I imagine they'd reward that very quickly.
Top lane.
Stormhammer, Dark Pact, Doozy dodges it with the pounce nicely. Good disjoint. Fade Bolt will come out. Arteezy's just going to sit back, but here's the wraparound gank. Arteezy a little far in. Sprint's going to come in. Jonas as well. Meanwhile, they're TPing to try to counteract this. Cast will go through. They have the amplified damage up and now. Alliance knows that they're a little too far up here. They're going to try to take this Tier 1 tower. It is glyphed up. Loda is staying for a bit of time here. He still has that Dark Pact ready to go. He wants this tower. The deny not there in time. Meanwhile, Dark Pact gets out. Telekinesis. The Golem was about to go, but not in time. As Crit couldn't quite get that R button pressed down, and Loda will TP out.
Yeah, I think he's like, should I commit the rock or should I hit him for a fight? That would have been, 1 kill, but a hook shot comes in, and
First hook shot, Sunstrike connection. Jonas gets off the Slithering Crush, trying to get his way up, but the battery still keeping him there. 18 HP, but he will end up falling as Sumail gets the job done from the low ground. The auto attack doing the job.
That's insane. Look at those Clockwork games for Universe. Probably the most consistent player of the last, 4 or 5 years.
He's pretty good.
And now look at, they can group up, and they still have rock.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Cannot fight without, of course, your Slaughter, and of course, more importantly, into Golem. You can see Crit canceling the animation again, and Alliance has to back up and give another Tier 1 tower away. Crit's just canceling that animation.
Making you guys think.
I've got Golem. Look out, guys. They take the Tier 1. Arteezy will get the last hit again. And they just keep excelling at farm. If you look at the net worth chart, Arteezy up to 6,000.
Quite a bit for being down 2 kills, and that just shows just farm efficiently on the map, which is what we saw them do at MDL. They be down in the early game, but they efficiently farm everywhere, and Sumail and Artur, that's what they do.
Do you think they wait on Alliance's side for Loda's Shadow Blade before they start being even more aggressive?
I think they have to. Without him, he's your main source of damage now. You have, Timbersaw who can go around, but if he just dies once, he falls so far behind. So you have to focus, you have to get little pickoffs, especially against Rock. You can't fight 5-on-5. It'll be tough to find those pickoffs, though.
Yeah, it's not looking easy. EG are playing together. They're smoking up with a 4-man smoke. Universal will walk up. Hookshot should be ready. They have Poison Oak, but they still have Golem, as we've talked about. Limp would be a gigantic pickoff. He does have a casual cloak, so a bit tankier. But we'll see if he can get out if there's a hookshot that comes through. They'll find him farming this creep wave, or excuse me, this creep camp. Limp's been spotted, Timber Chain. There's the flare. Hookshot going Limp. He'll get caught. Battery Assault will be next, followed up with the Cog. Sunstrike, great Gale. The Battery Assault stops him from bidding to get out with that Timber Chain. It's more than enough damage, and they bring down that Timber Saw.
Yep, Shadowblade is up on Loda now, but Sven, about 100 off Echo Saber as well. He is very farmed. They pick up that kill, and there's Timber Saw. He dies once, and now they can just go middle and push if they want.
Yeah, it's just objective after objective for EG right now. I mean, they've got everything going for them at this point in time.
Yep, huge. I mean, the supports, Warlock and Venomancer just have such a big impact on the game. We saw the early kills from the supports on Alliance, but now what are they doing? They try to find, like, Sven, but those two can't bring anyone down. A Veno and a Warlock can. Just higher impact heroes.
Even with Zai dying early on, I feel like he's gotten a lot out of this game. Like, he started out, he had 25 last hits before going into that top lane and dying. He still has a buckler now.
Yep. Mech, I assume.
Yeah, into the Guardian Greaves, probably. Yep. He's getting closer and closer, not quite there yet, obviously. The Echo Saber for Arteezy should be close to completion. He has his Oblivion Staff ready to go. I mean, they have all the items they need right now, and Alliance are just trying to hold on. And that death, that Limp death, really puts them in a precarious position.
Yep. And now, actually, Sumail has Boots of Travel on the Chicken, so he can be involved in any fight. Echo Saber on the Chicken as well. They
Dear God.
We're just getting insane amounts of items at 13 minutes.
Yeah. Does he... This is a pretty good showing from Sumail currently.
Sven pick was so good. How does the Slark do damage? I mean, Warcry just comes out. You just do nothing to all of them.
I think you have to have amp damage on the target that you're going on. I feel like the Slot are... Obviously, Blink Dagger's not quite there yet, I don't believe anyway. So they could use some form of initiation. If they can blow up these supports, I feel like Alliance might be in a good position, but...
Exactly, you have to try to find the bat crit, still doesn't use Rock, hasn't had to. Like, all he has to do is just get a Fatal Bonds. Like, he doesn't have to get Rock, just Fatal Bonds, and then if Zai gets an ult up, you're in a lot of trouble.
And this is where it's going to get difficult. Tier 2 tower mid being assaulted very early on in this game, 13 minutes in. They might be able to just take this freely. It doesn't look like Alliance are posturing themselves in a position to defend this. And it's just going to go down rather quickly.
Yeah, he doesn't have to use God Things. It's level 2 now, and oh boy. You just can't fight into them. You legitimately cannot fight when they're 5.
I mean, what can they do? They don't have the initiation yet. With the Shadowblade, maybe they have something to work with. It's not like they have Infest Bombs with an Aches or anything to find some quick pickoffs on supports.
If they have to go back to old Alliance with their old lineup, they just have to split push. If EG's 5-manning a lane, you have to push the other 2 lanes. You have to farm up and try to get an advantage.
Well, how good is the split push for Alliance in this particular matchup?
I would say not that great, but you just have to be farming the lanes. You have to always carry TP, farm the lane, TP back if they're going to threaten your base, or if you see them get back so you don't get caught, and you just have to try to out-efficiency them.
It's going to be a tough test for Alliance. Net worth-wise, we can check the graph quickly. They're only down about, well, I say only, 7,500 at 14 minutes in is a pretty considerable number. Experience-wise, it's 3,000, a little bit more manageable for Alliance's squad.
I think this goes to show how good Arteezy playing Ven on his stream the whole time. You kind of look for him, and then they don't pick anything that can counter the jungle Ven on. You're just in trouble.
Yeah, that was a smart draft so far from EG, but Alliance, they're setting up for a gank top lane. This could be huge for them if they can find Sumail. They're coming around, they're wrapping up and looking for some potential initiation. Sumail very close to the tree line, knows that he can get caught out here rather easily. Here comes Hanskin, they need a telekinesis, but Sumail rather quick, of course, with the boots of travel. No even Wex used. Now he pops it off for the extra move speed. They might not be able to catch him here, however, EGM nearby. The cast will just bounce through. They do get the spell steal, it's Forge Spirits, but they break off pursuit because guess what? Everyone from EG is coming in. The Sunstrike finds it beautifully. Oh man, Sumail just finds another easy pickoff, and now it's top tier 2 time.
That was perfect. Max Rocket from Universe gives him that vision. He just Sunstrikes while he's running back. That's all you need to do. And now they just, look at that, right into a tower.
And the alacrity on Arteezy as well. Even with the 1-point Wex, they are doing some serious damage. Forge Spirits, of course, the Warcry making this creep wave tanky enough to take this tower down rather easily. Oh, good try to deny coming out, but not quite enough. They will TP down to the bottom lane for Sumail, and
he has a Ewell's Boots of Travel, Midas, a Wand at 15 minutes.
He's farmed, but the thing is, he's not the most farmed hero in the game.
He's not, that's crazy. Loda is keeping up with them. He hasn't got picked off. He needs to, the problem is, as him, you want to get kills like this. It's just so hard versus 2 really farm people.
EG feel like they're playing as 4 for the most part. Sumail maybe just doing his own thing from time to time. You look at where EG are situated now. Loda, he's doing well in terms of farm, but like you said, he needs to get those kills. He was looking for a bottom, but Sumail's able to back up. Hook shot mid. There's going to be Sunstrike as well, and Hanskin almost certainly dead. Not the easiest game Rubick here.
This is rough. They just have so much vision. They have the vision here, the Clockwork shooting out. You have 2 global spells with the Clockwork Rocket and the Sunstrike. Like, what are you going to do?
And now there's even more mobility. The Sven picks up his Blink Dagger at 16 minutes in. Helm of the Dom, Echo Saber, Blink Dagger for the Sven. Finally, Sumail will equip him in farm and net worth, but not by much. EG taking control of the map, dominating. Jonas flared up. No Blink Dagger. He has money for it. Needs to be careful. He will TP out. There's the Sunstrike, not in time. They don't have the hook shot ready to go either, as it was on cooldown, and that'll be that. He does get out and gets away.
Yeah, then Slark has his Blink now. This is definitely when they need to try to pick someone up. Like, if they had that Blink earlier against the Invoker, that would have for sure been a kill. So, they just have to pick up kill, and they're roaching right now. EG should take it pretty easily.
Yeah. They're going to grab this, and Plague Ward will help out. Sumail's Alacrity. Arteezy, I don't think he used God's Strength. Can't tell from this angle.
Don't believe.
Yeah, actually, it looks like he did pop it. Yep. God's Strength going, so it'll fall even quicker. Scan will come out. Dire used it so they know they're around this Roche vicinity. Looks like they're moving together as a team for Alliance. Not heading towards there just yet. Roshan has been taking. We'll see if Alliance want to try to take a fight or if they're just going to maybe push mid in, head to another lane, look for another hero.
It looks like they're like, oh, I hope one of them, they know they're going to group of 5 now with the Aegis. They were hoping one person would come and farm middle. Unfortunately, all 5 go bottom for EG.
They also are trying to take control of the Ancients and say, okay, listen, if Arteezy comes back here, we can try to gank him, but no such luck as all 5 EG heroes are down bottom lane, pressuring this tier 2 tower. And it's just all of the outer towers one by one. I mean, this isn't even that much of a push strat, but I guess with the Venomancer, with the Sven, with Sumail and the Invoker, it's more than enough to take down all of these towers.
This is base, yeah. You can't, how are you going to fight into him? We're about to find out.
This tier 2 tower trade's not going to happen for Alliance. They have to TP back, Jonas included. Everybody's starting to get positioned up for Alliance. They're pulling the Creep Wave with a Satyr Trickster as well. Give me that Creep Wave, RP get some more money. Just efficiency, honestly.
Oh, yes, Dan. More, we still haven't seen a rock. This is one of those few times like, oh, we haven't seen a rock. Why are they losing? Like, oh, we haven't seen rock. How are they winning?
Yeah, there's not been a single Golem cast. There's been one Poison Nova, a couple of hook shots. For Alliance's side, we've not really seen much out of them either. Limp's not really been involved in a fight.
This is just pure efficiency from EG.
They're taking control of the map as 5. They're moving together. They're taking all the objectives, everything they need. Now Limp does have his Bloodstone. They're getting some items.
Not bad.
That's pretty good considering how this game has gone for Alliance. Hook shot in initiation all the way back line. They'll find one gold. Good con choice. They will find Limp. He's going to get battery salted. They even have the Blade Belt for Universe. Not even needed. Dead for 10. Of course, that Bloodstone already losing some charges. 6 seconds for him to respawn. Meanwhile, the Golem doing some work. They use the Glyph. There's the Yule Scepter. That'll be onto Jonas. Should salvage Blink Initiation and BB pretty soon here. We'll see if we can find some sort of Slithering Crush. Another cog pushback. Loda can't even get in. There's the Mega Arteezy looking for Jonas. Cold Step. They blow him away. 38 seconds on the sideline. No buyback. Poison Nova included. Loda has to pop the Shadow Dance and peace out quickly. Loda cannot afford to die again. He's already lost his Bloodstone charges and he's down once more. These respawn times are so short, but it might not matter. Alliance have lost just about everything. Loda Shadow Bladed up on the front lines. EG don't give a damn. They're just pushing the racks, and they will take a 19-minute set of racks here down to this bottom lane, and it's not done yet. They're going to head straight to this tier 3 tower.
We have an Agonist now on the Invoker as well. We want to slide in. Who knows if he'll even get in time? They're just going to lose mid.
This is a dominant performance by Evil Geniuses, looking to finish this game off early. They're backing off. Happy with what they've accomplished. Loda's looking for something, anything on the back lines. Universe is maybe going to be the one to get caught. Zai, they can't find a disable here. The Chocolate Alchemist, they'll find at least the one. It is a support, but it is a kill, and it will go the way of that Slark. Meanwhile, Jonas on the hunt. Can he find Crit? There's the TP, the Timber Chain. He's going to get out. Crit with the juke. Gets into the tree line, makes it away.
Yep. One good thing, they do get the kill on Veno, and they do steal Plague Ward, so their uphill defense will be a little bit easier. I don't want to say easier. Will be a little less hard.
Well,
if they want to, and that's the biggest thing. Like Pudge said, you get all 8 skill points.
Yeah, Hanskin, that's one of the most important spells you could steal at this point in the game. But it's 20 minutes. They've lost a set of racks. They've lost the tier 3 mid. Slark is still doing the best that he can. Loda's sitting at 10,000 net worth. A little bit close to that of the Invoker as well as Arteezy, but...
Yep, if he gets a Basher, possible solo kills on his side if that's what he gets next. But, oh, here we go.
So the Ring Crush, they have the Amp Damage Warcry, won't help him. He doesn't have an H either. There's the Pounce Up, Arteezy's low, gets the Shadow Ward off. They need a couple right clicks, they'll find him. Finally, a huge kill for Alliance. Can they get more off this Universe? Hookshot, and they'll try to at least push them back. Sunstrike, Loda can't afford it. They'll fall. Deathward going as well. Can they do anything? The Tornado cancels it instantly. With the Restoration on, here comes Flip. Universe getting low, but he will help set up the spell on EGM. The Shadow Word's up. A couple more right clicks. They'll find a double for Sumail, and now it's time to back. Limp and Yodas cannot fight into Sumail, and even TPing out and getting home as quickly as possible.
There we go. Max already has Max X-Lord. Sunstrike does insane amounts of damage and just picks them off, loaded from almost full health. But still, 2 good pickoffs. They get 2 kills. They lose 2 themselves, but obviously they get the net gain there. But I have a feeling they're not going to be scared to just push. EG might just push in top. We'll see.
They have the Aegis only for a little while longer. That is a 15,000 net worth lead for EG at 21 minutes in the game. It's pretty insane. But if they can find a couple more pickoffs like that, perhaps get a jump onto Sumail, who will be losing that Aegis sooner rather than later, they could do something here. But again, they'll try to push top now, keep this wave pushed in. Mid actually going towards that tier 1 tower, but that's the problem. There is still that tier 1 tower towards mid, and they don't want any extra damage going out. You see EG, Sumail, and Crit TP. This tier 1 tower, they don't want to give it away for free.
Yep, they have the Crit, has had the gem for a bit. It's been de-warding everything, and what do you do? They're just going to out efficiency right now. See a smoke gank. We see now with the Slark blink, they can pick people off with Loda leading the way.
Yeah, I mean...
But they all left top, sorry.
They all TP'd out. The Aegis is gone. Roche not for another 4 minutes or so.
It looks like Load is actually going for the BKB, not the Basher, so he just wants survivability. Be able to get in there and sustain.
It feels like he has to go for that, but I don't know how much that's going to help this game. Wrap around, smoke gank potentially from EG in the jungle. This could be huge. Loda's out front currently. Hookshot, they find a Universe. There's another jump into Stormhammer. Sunstrike not on point. The Shadow Dance will be out in time. He actually avoids the Gale as well. But here comes Sumail. Tornado comes through. Dark access at the last second. Loda popping it perfectly timed. Might have just been a bit lucky, but it's fortunate enough he's able to get away. That is huge. They needed to avoid that gank, and he does so.
Yeah, that's the circular cog, losing him 2 kills. He thinks he hooks right on, he cast it, and he still gets pushed away instead of going straight down, but oh my.
Meatball, Limp, Cold Snap, Gale not connected, but there's the Deafening Blast. The Stormhammer as well. Can they bring him down? He's rather tanky. Telkin, RTZ's gone too far, but Crit counter-initiating. He drops the golem as well. Finally, RTZ able to get out. The Shadow Word's still there. They can maybe wait for him to heal back up with said ability and try to go back in. They already have the Forge Spirits and a couple of Plague Lords doing the job for now. Loda, not been spotted on the side, looking for some sort of initiation.
Needs a little bit of vision on our DJ. I think it just went away from the amp damage, and well, they know they can't go in because there is a gem on Crit.
Yeah, this is a
that
tough
slows
situation.
them down though, yeah, because they had to use Rock and 2 Force Steps to save Arteezy, and now they're just going to go back to farming and try to choke him out.
I think if Arteezy can find himself a BKB, or an AC.
Wow.
Yeah, they could probably start pushing it faster. Yeah, they really do. I was like, well, you can go BKB and be safe about it, but he's going for the AC. Wants to be able to take down buildings rather quickly. Give himself some extra armor. There's the hook shot. They'll find Jonas the Sunstrike as well. Battery assault. Almost certainly Jonas will fall. He does get Quiver Tape, stays alive somehow. Meanwhile, they will pick up another kill. That'll be on to Hans. Get lit. Trying to get out. Tornado. It's on it too beautifully. Stormhammer might be here from RTC. There's the God Strength. Loda pops up the Shadow Dance. Poison above. And the Deafening Blast onto 2. Loda will fall. Lip is next to the God Strength. RTZ just cleaves down another one. They have to buy back on Loda at this point, but I think this might be it. The racks are down, 3 dead. They have a buyback for Lent, but I just don't know if there's anything Alliance to do here, Grant.
Insane. This is some of the cleanest play I think we've seen this tournament. Besides those, like those 3 deaths top that actually, made space for the other 2. This has been actually the cleanest game.
Well, I guess we found our answer about what EG we would see here. They look pretty damn good at this point. It is only game number 1, but at 24 minutes in, they are hitting tier 4s and more than likely going to secure themselves the first game.
Yep. Gonna push through, not giving up yet is the line. We'll see, they have one more fight in them. All the ults down on EG. They're gonna make something happen here.
Force forward, Universe, they'll find EGM, and he's gonna get battery assaulted. He's barely surviving now, but that should be enough to bring him down. Crit will find that kill. On the backside, Loda looking for more. He's gonna get hooked on it. There's Deafening Blast to swinging him away. Loda's able to pounce out, get away from that ice wall. On the other side, Stormhammer, they found Hanskin, and there it is. GG.
Yeah, dude, that was actually sick. Universe 4-step the Witch Doctor himself forward and just cogged instantly. That was clean as it gets.
That was an impressive display, to say the least. First game for Evil Geniuses, and they roll hard over Alliance.
Yep, it will be a game 2. They will have stuff to talk about. They're going to